Today is Friday, August 14th, 2026. The war with Iran just entered a colder, more calculated phase. The United States is no longer talking about winning battles. It is talking about squeezing Iran until it breaks, for as long as that takes. Here is the new plan. American forces have thrown a naval blockade around Iran, a ring of warships choking off the country's ports and its ability to ship oil. Until now, the assumption was that this was temporary. But officials are now signaling something far heavier. They want the blockade to be indefinite. No end date, no expiration. A siege that simply stays until Iran gives in. Think about what that actually means. A blockade is one of the oldest and most brutal weapons in the book. You do not need to invade a country to bring it to its knees. You just wrap it in steel, cut off what comes in and what goes out, and wait. Ships get turned back, oil cannot move, and slowly the money, the fuel, and the supplies that keep a nation running start to run dry. And the pain does not stop at the government. A blockade hits everyone. It drives up the cost of goods, chokes off trade, and squeezes ordinary people who have no say in any of this. When you strangle an economy, it is the people at the bottom who feel it first. Now add the second punch. The United States Treasury is stacking economic weapons on top of the blockade, threatening financial measures that, in its own words, have never been seen before. That means new sanctions, frozen money, and pressure aimed at cutting Iran off from the global financial system entirely. Blockade at sea and a financial wall on land. Put it together and you see the real strategy. This is not about a knockout blow. It is about suffocation. Washington is betting it can hold Iran underwater long enough that the regime simply cannot breathe and eventually surrenders on America's terms. But there is a danger buried in a plan with no end date. A cornered country does not always fold. Iran has already threatened to prolong this war, and a nation being slowly strangled has every reason to lash out, whether at sea, at oil facilities, or through its allies across the region. The tighter the grip, the more desperate the response can become. So this is where the war stands tonight. Not a clash of armies, but a chokehold, one that Washington just decided to hold with no clock running. America is betting that time and pressure will win, but a siege with no end is also a war with no exit. And once you decide to strangle a country until it breaks, you had better be sure it breaks before something else does.